All right, folks. Tony Doles here again. On lunch break, so I figured I'd cut a video real fast. I've been watching Kayleigh McEnany, the press secretary, and she's answering a lot of questions to these reporters who are saying, about these bills to be sponsored, and everybody that gets these $600 extra checks on their $600 extra on their unemployment checks. And now they're saying, we need more, more money to go ahead and start counting these ballots and all that stuff that's going to come in from mail-in voting, because there's going to be hundreds of millions. Look here, folks. Where's this money coming from? Where are you expecting all this money to come from? Because, you know, the printing press, it isn't really money. Money is the paper money we got is backed by gold, and we're losing our reserves. We're almost out of gold reserves. I mean, where is this money going to come from? Everybody's sitting there with their hands out, hands out, hands out. You know what you're going to do? You're going to bankrupt our fucking country. That's what's going to happen. Especially if you vote in the Democrats. People just want to, they want to sit back there. They're getting used to these $1,100 checks or $1,000 checks a week. And they're like, oh, what the fuck to work for? What's the point of working if you're getting this kind of money working at McDonald's or, in some menial job that's really supposed to be for teenagers to have some pocket money? I was saying this back when they wanted to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour for people working in McDonald's and working in Kentucky Fried Chicken. Come on, folks. The jobs like that are for teenagers. They're supposed to. It's not a career choice. They're supposed to be for teenagers to have some pocket money and to give them a little bit of work experience behind them. But for some reason, they're making $15 an hour. That's more than some people that has been at their jobs for years. I mean, it's extremely ridiculous. But I'm just curious, where do these people think all this money is going to come from? Is it magically going to come from the money tree? Is there a magic forest out there somewhere with rainbows and unicorns where money just falls out of trees? Because if there is a place like that, please let me know. I would like to go there. I'd like to stuff my pockets a little bit too, because the only way I can stuff my pockets is to get a little bit of overtime if I can pull that during this bullshit ass COVID. Yeah, it's that simple. But everybody keeps sitting there with their hands out, gimme, 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 gimme. Folks, you're going to bankrupt the country. You're going to bankrupt it. Go back to work. Jobs are opening now. They're starting to open back up. This COVID bullshit is starting to go down. And I believe that a lot of you ought to start calling your congressmen. You ought to start calling your governors. You ought to start, just flood them with calls. Your mayors, flood them. Why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Just keep flooding the call centers. And let these folks know we're tired of it. America's tired of it. You guys need to get back to work. I mean, I know there's a lot of you that's going to be like, well, I get $1,100, but my regular job I only get like 1,100. I get 1,100 a week, but in my regular job I get only 600 a week. Why go back to work? Well, the reason you go back to work, folks, is because we've got to put money back into the economy, or we're going to be broke. You see all these countries on TV all the time. They're all bombed out, poor. They're third world countries, things like that. That's what you're turning America into, folks. So look here. Grab yourself up by your bootstraps and go back to fucking work, man. Because, but like I said, pretty soon it's going to be terrible here. And what's coming is going to be a lot worse than what was. You don't understand that. A lot of people ain't seeing it. And here's another thing that's really getting to me right here. A lot of folks, I mean, even on the Republican side, you're sitting there bitching about what's going on, with the Democrats. Look, folks, you got the power. You can vote them out. You can get them out of there. Go to the polls and say, you know what? I don't want this no more. I'm going to vote Republican. That's simple. I'm going to get them out of there. We're going to have a conservative base, or we can have money back again. We're going to have our rights restored. We're going to be happy. But for some reason, a lot of people are wanting to sit there and just be degraded and let these freaking animals that are out here on the streets destroying our cities, just letting them roam free. That ain't America, folks. That's not freedom. That's destruction. That's chaos. It's anarchy. And that's not the way that a prosperous, successful nation should run. That's my opinion. So, You know, if it's just going to continue on like that, folks, I mean, it's just going to lead to civil war. We're going to have, then we have civil war. We're going to have a lot of bombed out cities. We're going to look like these third world nations. And who's going to come to help us? We help all these other nations, things like that. No one's going to come to help us. We're going to have a civil war. Then the other nations, when we have this civil war, the other nations are going to come in and help destroy it even more. America is a very, very successful country. And when other countries see how successful it is, they want to sit there and try to destroy it because they don't want the people in their country to say, well, why in our country like that? You know what I'm saying? That's how it is, folks. So, look, just sit back and vote them stupid son of a bitches out, folks. You got the power to do it. And I've been hearing a lot on the news and stuff, you know, people are talking about they're afraid to vote Republican. They're afraid to say they're Republican. Look, don't be afraid no more, folks. You're Republicans, stand up and say, you know what, I'm a Republican. I don't believe in what these stupid ass Democrats are doing, because silence and hiding is what's allowing them to have power, the Democrats. And that's what's doing it. Stand up, say, you know what, I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be an American. That's simple. If you're proud to be American, then vote Republican. If you want to be part of the Democratic Socialist movement, well, be part of the Democratic Socialist movement. But just remember, socialism has always been a failed concept, and it'll fail in America. It's Tony Doles. Tony Doles told you, hey, you know what? Like I'm saying, go to the polls, vote red. Fuck them mail-in ballots, man. Fuck them mail-in ballots. Go in, vote at the polls, because if you vote through mail-in ballot, who's to say your ballot's even going to get there? You know, who's to say your ballot's even going to be counted? That means you won't be counted. So go on to the polls, folks. Go proudly. Wear a Trump 2020 hat. Show the world we're proud of our nation. Like I said, Tony Doles told you. Have a good day.